Morning. Morning. How's everyone doing? Welcome back. Welcome back to another stream. Ernesto, number one. Christine. Maynard. Jide. Adam. J. Price. Dino. I think that's Dino. Dinos Den. So some of these just, it's hard to know what exactly the pronunciation of some of these names. Morning, guys. How's everyone doing? A lot of familiar faces. I swear to God, man, you guys' names are engraved in my head. So if you come back here, trust me, I know exactly who's here. They're engraved in my head. Chef. It's crazy. It's crazy that I don't know anyone, any single one of you, but one day, hopefully, we get together at some point. I've met one person. I've ran into one person from the stream and from the channel before, and we were at the Seminole Casino in Fort Lauderdale, and he came up to me. He's like, "I know who you are." I was like, well, holy crap. That was the first time that's ever happened. But maybe one day. I know Breadman. Yeah, Fresh Cut is coming on Thursday. Tomorrow. Fresh Cut tomorrow, I know. It's getting long. It's a little bit of a mess. But it's coming. Yeah, maybe when I'm probably gonna be heading out to Miami starting in December. I'm gonna probably move there, and once I move there, I'll be a little bit more, willing to get people to come out, maybe do like some meetup stuff like that, because I think Miami is a better place for that. Naples, Florida is not really the spot for that type of meetup. Once we get to Miami, once the channel transitions over there, how does it feel to be a famous trader? I do not feel famous in the slightest. That's not really my goal, to be famous. I feel like the same like I always have. When you go back, I live right near the casino. Yeah, Rangers-Panthers game. I went to one last year, so yeah, definitely. All right, guys, let's get started. Welcome back to another stream. Hopefully you guys are having a good morning. Hopefully it's, birds are chirping, outside's looking nice. Hopefully you're feeling like it's going to be a good day. It's good to wake up with that type of positivity. I definitely do. Recently been doing pretty decent, pretty well in the market, having some really nice opportunities. So yeah, it's been nice lately. So we'll see what happens today. We've gotten some pretty nice opportunities yesterday, today, Monday, and Tuesday of this week. The price action has been pretty solid. It's shown some really nice stuff. It's, the retester there, the upside's been pretty clean. If it comes into the downside either, I don't care which direction it goes. I just need some action rather than sideways, and we've actually gotten some of that so far this week. So I am happy about that. I'm positive about, the opportunities coming back a little bit. So we'll see what happens today. Yesterday, we got some upside early morning, but we did give back a decent amount of it. We are basically back to where we opened yesterday morning. So yesterday, it was up, it was down, it was volatile. We had some intraday news from Tesla and Twitter, which sort of threw a little bit of a loop in the intraday. And, that, it sucks, man. I could totally feel for people that were holding on to, say, Tesla calls when that news dropped. Thankfully I wasn't. That would have sucked because I wasn't even home for it. So this is like sort of part of the reason why I'm just not holding contracts much, especially when I'm not in front of the computer. Because if you're out, let's say you put your phone down for 5 minutes, Tesla news comes out, that thing's down, straight down, you get screwed. It just sucks, man. I really feel for you. There's nothing you can do. There's nothing you can do there. If you guys lost because of that Tesla drop intraday, if you were holding Tesla calls at that point, and, it wasn't looking like a bad hold at that point. So if that happened to you, you just got to shake it off, man. You can't let something like that make you think that you're not doing the right thing, because that's just not something that you can really avoid. If you had let's say you had a conviction, let's say you had a plan, to hold on to Tesla calls, something you like there, and that happens. That's what we sign up for, right? That's the little contract that we sign when we start trading options, when we start involving ourselves in the stock market. We sign, right there. I know we're not actually signing something, but we are hypothetically signing something that says you will get screwed at certain points during your trading career. It's just going to happen, right? There's nothing you can do about it. So shake it off, move on, and let's continue and look for new opportunities today. All right. So today is the 5th of October. We're going to look at the futures as always. We're going to look at the economic and earnings calendar. So let's go ahead and pull that up right quick. Economic calendar. Get that going here. We haven't seen much. We haven't seen much on the economic side. I mean, we've had a decent schedule, but nothing, the moves have been okay. They haven't been wild. They haven't been like crazy. But here's Wednesday. Here's today. ADP employment report. It's in about 9 minutes. So let's watch out for that. We'll see how the market reacts to this in about 10 minutes. We have the services PMI at 9:45. Jobless claims tomorrow. That's normal stuff on a Thursday. I don't expect much movement off this. From Fed president speaking as well. And then on Friday, non-farm payrolls, unemployment rate, average hourly earnings. So a little bit more jobs. A lot of job reports, a lot of job data this week, which is definitely interesting, guys, and something that should be paid attention to, because Jerome Powell said himself, right, they need to slow down the job market, right? They sort of want the job market to be bad. If the job market's good, that means people are still spending, people are still in good positions. I know it sounds asinine and backwards, but that's sort of what needs to happen. We need to see a slowdown in the jobs market. We need to see less spending, inflation to come down. That's sort of their goal right now. So a lot of focus is on these jobs, on these job reports, on the job market. So we'll see. Today we get ADP employment report, which should be pretty influential. So let's watch out for that. It's in about 7 minutes. All right. So we might not be able to get through much before that, but we'll see what happens there. I'm wondering if we should just wait. Let's just go through the schedule, and maybe it's 8:15 by then. Tesla channel. Tesla's just a mess right now, guys. I really don't know if I'm going to be trading Tesla today. It's in a channel. It's being plagued by, news that comes out left and right. You got the delivery numbers that bring it down, then it bounces. You got the Twitter news that brings it down. It bounces intraday. It continues lower. It's you got a lot of stuff working against you, right? Can you trust technicals when you have things flying at Tesla stock from all different directions, affecting it in the macro side? That's something I'd be careful of, right? You might be able to trust some technicals on it, which we definitely saw yesterday. But you got a lot of things flying at that stock, right? That's affecting it on the macro side. So just be aware of that. Be careful. Apple gap fill. If there's downside in the market, I like this gap fill on Apple. That'll show you guys today. AMD, nice rejection level up there at 69. We talked about this. It did reject nicely. NVIDIA, looking for a pullback on NVIDIA. I think there's a nice retest, essentially a little bit lower than where it is now, so I will show you that. Amazon, similar thing. I like a pullback on Amazon and NVIDIA on this retest. Enphase, FSLR, solar stocks. They have been pretty strong lately. FSLR made new all-time highs, I believe, and it is retesting that all-time high. So we will watch this today, a retest of previous all-time highs. Definitely want to watch this today. Finally, we'll go over some of the sectors. So XLF, XLP, XLE. XLF had a huge push yesterday. Very strong on the financials. Big move on the banks. Does this continue today? I think this is a pretty big watch on the financials. XLP had a very big watch. XLP is back above that yearly support level. So I'm going to be watching some of the XLP names, Procter & Gamble, Coca-Cola. I'm not so fond of trading options on those types of stocks, but I will see if there's opportunity here on those two names. Costco may be one to watch out for with some XLP strength if there's the NASDAQ helping it. So definitely watching some of these consumer staple stocks after this bounce on the XLP. Finally, the XLE, the energy sector, has been moving higher. There was a little bit of OPEC news yesterday about a supply, I think it was a production cut. I'm not sure exact. You guys know I don't really get into the oil sector as much as I probably should. But there was positive news on the energy sector yesterday. I believe it was an OPEC or OPEC supply cut supply. Let me just make sure of this before I keep talking like I know what happened. I know it was around that. I know it was similar. Someone clear that up for me. Let me make sure I know. I'm sure some of you out there know. Okay, so oil prices. Okay, production cut. Yes, OPEC production cut. That was the news. So an OPEC production cut, which is obviously if a production cut comes out, there's less supply, which means the price of oil will be influenced higher. So you got an OPEC production cut yesterday, intraday. That happened right around what time was that? That was around 10:50. So the announcement is today. I think it already came out. Yeah. Oh, okay. Considers big production cut. Considers. So it's not quite for sure yet. So it's right here. OPEC considers big production cut. Pressing for a 1.5 million barrel a day cut. Okay. Thanks, guys. I appreciate that insight. So you got a consideration of a production cut, which you saw this move right here, and then this is sort of what's we've been doing ever since. So just be careful that if you are in the energy sector, you guys can see XOM had a nice day yesterday. XLE had a nice day yesterday. So just watch out for that oil sector. If they do that production cut, you might see some more upside. So let's get started. What time is it? It's 8:12. So we have about 3 minutes until this ADP employment report. But let's just go ahead and get some preliminary analysis here, and then we'll see what happens when this ADP employment report comes out. So let's start on the longer-term time frames while we wait for this. Let's go back to the last few years, and let's look at this right here. So we talked about this level, right? On Monday, we said, hey, let's see if the market wants to hold this. If the market wants to hold this July, this September, this November low, right? We said, hey, let's watch out for this level here. Back from 2020, this is around 10,950, 11,000 on the NASDAQ. And we can see, yeah, we've had a nice little reaction off that level. We definitely held it. We found a nice wick off of it. Daily chart had a very nice last 2 days off this level. So we definitely know there's some demand down there, right? There were definitely buyers ready to take advantage of that pullback down and around this 11,000 level. So we know that, right? That's the first thing. That's clear and obvious. Hourly chart. This is where things get a little bit interesting because, yes, we've had a nice move over the last 2 days, but we have not really gotten anywhere that makes me believe that something has drastically changed here. Now, we'll have to see maybe how today reacts, but this whole area here, guys, does not really look that easy to get through. You can see we did get a push through it yesterday, but we slid the whole day, right? We just slid the rest of the day into the pre-market, into the after hours yesterday. So rejections came in here. I would call this, I'm not going to call it a rejection yet, but I would call it, definitely showing that there is resistance here up in this 11,550, 11,600. So, yeah, I think we got to wait this one out. I mean, you can see the possibility of a rejection here. You can see that, it's came up to it, rejected. This could just be another rejection at this 11,550, 11,600. So, am I, going, strong to the upside, not just totally ignoring this possible rejection? No, absolutely not. So need to be careful here. 11,550, 11,600. What would I like to see? Again, I said this yesterday, and I still want to see it. I want to see a pullback to 11,350. I would want to see this pullback here to 11,350. This would be great. This would be a nice pullback. It would be a nice retest of this previous high right here. This would create a potential higher low if we did pull back, and it would give us some opportunity on a pullback. So let's see real quick. ADP employment report, 208 versus 200. We'll see if there's any reaction to that. Right now, not anything major. Let me pull up Mr. Yeah, so ADP non-farm employment change, September 208 versus 132. Previous estimated was 200, so it was above the estimate, and it was substantially higher than the previous. So the previous was 132,000. It was 208,000. Previous was the 132, and then the estimated was 200,000. So employment change, positive. It went up. How does the market react to that? Not much right now. Not much right now. We'll see if there's any reaction to it. I'm not going to sit here and watch the 1-minute chart with you, but just know that employment report was higher than expected. A little bit of upside now coming in, but this is just a 1-minute chart. So, all right, let's go back to the hourly. So I believe that the real nice move, if we get something really strong, I mean, you could say that this is, let's go ahead and put this level at the highs right there. So that's the highs. That's 11,570. That's the highs right here. That's the high right here. That's some of the previous support right in here. So if you do put a little bit of a box at that level, right, that 11,570, we're a little bit below it. And if you go down to the 5-minute chart, you can see, look at this 11,570 rejection right here. Look at this. It's happening right here on the 5-minute chart. You had support come in, right? You dropped it. You've rejected it now. So this 11,570 looks pretty influential. Yesterday, you guys can see we actually did something quite nice yesterday. We got above that 570. We came back down to it intraday. Look at the hold right there and the continuation. But today, you can see I need to see this back above. I need to see it strongly back above. I need to see some continuation above 570. We might get it here today. But that would be the only, that would be the thing I want to see. A little hold of this 550, 570 area and continuation. The real big level is up here at 780, 800. This is also the 20 SMA. So if I throw this daily SMA on, you guys see right here, this blue line on your screen, that's the 20 SMA on the daily chart. So the 20 SMA on the daily chart, coincidentally, lines up perfectly with this previous support level at around 11,800. So I think that's like your ultimate goal level is up here at 11.8 in the 20 SMA. That's what I would be watching for. If you see weakness today, I would like to see a 350 retest right here. This is really what I want to look for. This is what I would love for the market to do. I think it's healthy, right? I don't want to see this market go straight up. I don't think that's good for the market. I want to see it start to build some higher lows. I want to see a push. I want to see a pullback. I want to see a higher low get built. I want to see another push. I want to see a pullback. I want to see another higher low get built, right? I want to see it start moving as it should rather than just straight up moves, straight down moves. So we'll see. I'm watching 11,570, 11,550, this whole area on the NASDAQ, right in this general zone. I'm watching 11,350 down here at the previous highs, and then I'm watching 11,800 and the 20 SMA above. These are the three levels that I'm watching. All right. ES, this is a little bit cleaner, and this could be bullish in my opinion. This could definitely be bullish. I'm not gonna shy away from saying that because this looks like a potentially pretty nice pullback to this previous low. You guys can see right here. If we zoom in on this little area from back on the 21st and 22nd of September, we had support come in here and support come in here around this 3760. We broke it, right? After we broke it, we continued lower. But this was definitely a level. at 37.60. Now, if we go over, we can see we broke the 37.60. We're coming back to it today. If we can hold 37.60, then I think there could be, the case for for this to be turned into a support level, right? I could see the case for this to turn into some type of support and some type of breakout off the 37.60 here. I could see that. So if you could hold here, a little bit, 37.60, and then continue higher off that, that is definitely a bull case for today, in my opinion. That's one of the bull cases that you could have. Here on the hourly chart, you could see you have a previous support at 37.60. If that turns into support once again, I could see this bull case back into the 20 SMA. I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm saying that would be your bullish case. If you see that hold at 37.60, if you can get that push, maybe you can get this little flag break and you can get that downtrend break. If you can hold this 760, I would look for that if that starts to set up today. Obviously, you need to see some strength today, but I'm sorry, 37.50, guys, not 36. My bad. You guys know what I'm saying. If I'm misspeaking something, guys, that's what happens when you present. You don't really think about the exact things you're saying. You're just, 37.60, not 36. 37.60, previous double bottom into support here. If that happens, that would be your bull case. If we lose that level, then you're probably looking at pullbacks down to here at these previous highs. 37.35, right in this area. If you get your pullback, probably right in there. And then if you pull back under that, you're probably looking at the 3,700 right down here. So that's what I'd watch today, guys. 37.60 hold. If that doesn't hold, 37.35. If that doesn't hold, 3,700. If this does hold, then I would say you probably have a pretty nice shot back towards the highs, 3,800, maybe even the 20 SMA. So watch out for that. That's what I'm watching today. Looking to see this 37.60 hold. That's basically the most important thing on the ES today. That's where the title of this video comes from. You can see I included the SPY because I know a lot of people like to watch the SPY. So here's the SPY. Same exact thing, right, guys? Previous support back here on the SPY. You can see these lows right in this 373, 373.50, 374 area. You can see back here. See these previous lows from back on the 21st, 22nd. Right? See all this? If the ES or if the SPY can hold this level today, which is right here, you can see we're sitting right at it today. So, yeah, that's what I would watch. If you lose it, then you got downside. Let's go back to the hourly chart. If you lose it on the SPY, if you can't hold this 373.50, 374 area, which we're sitting at right now, then I would look for, this pullback back to these highs. What is that? 370, 370.50, right in this area. All right. So that's that. Let's go Dow real quick. Dow is doing, okay, the Dow's the same as the ES. It's the exact same thing. Look at that. The Dow is exactly the same. No difference. Exact same chart. Look at this. So previous lows from the 21st, 22nd, you're sitting right at it. Does it hold? Does it flag out of it? That would be my watch. If it does flag out of it, continuation. If it doesn't, if it loses this, back to these previous highs, 29,800, 29,750, right in there. Right? Look how similar this is. ES, previous September 21st, 22nd. You guys can see if we hold, maybe a flag pattern out of it. If not, break down to the previous highs. Exact same thing. YM, previous lows, potential flag pattern out of it. If it holds, we'll have to see. If not, back to the previous highs. So same thing. Russell. So the Russell really had a pretty decent week. I mean, the Russell popped. What is this? This is 8% on the Russell. So a big pop on the Russell. Look at exactly where it's rejecting, guys. Our exact level, 1780 and the 20 SMA. So seeing the Russell reject here at the 20 SMA makes me believe that there's going to be rejections at the 20 SMA on the other indices, like the Dow, like the ES, like the NASDAQ. So you guys can see right here, previous lows into a rejection. This is just a perfect retest rejection right now on the Russell. 20 SMA, very clean. I think you should see this, right? I think you should see that. That's what would make sense. a pullback to the previous highs, hold it as support. If not, if we can't hold this, then you're moving back down to the lows. But ideally, bull case would be a pullback. Maybe you can take advantage of that pullback to the downside and then create a higher low. If you can create a higher low here, I think that's a positive thing for the market. That doesn't mean, I still like to see this pullback, right? I would still like to see that pullback. All right, guys, that's about it for the futures. ES, watch for that hold of 37.60. If not, look for that 37.35 on the NASDAQ. It's starting to reject that 11,570 pretty aggressively. If this stays under that 570, which it sort of is pretty easily showing that, go to the 1 minute chart. You guys can see we're starting to show that rejection right there at 570. Pretty clear. Previous lows into a rejection. If we continue off that, then I would like to see this. I will continue to say that. I would like to see this pullback to 30.50. All right, let's move on. Tesla. So Tesla's a mess. That's really all I have to say. It is stuck within this channel right now, guys, between 260 and 240. You can see right here, 260, 240. I would just look for the breakdown or breakout of this channel. I think that's probably your best trade. It looks very weak. If you go to the 4-hour chart, it definitely looks weak. Big wick to the upside, pushing this thing back down. I really don't know where you find support, though. I got to be honest, guys. I don't know where you find support in this mess of price action. If I take off the SMAs because they're not doing anything here, you guys can look to the left here, and you can tell me, what level you think actually holds here, because I surely can't tell you with any kind of confidence. I'm not going to say something on this live stream unless I'm confident in it, and I'm not confident in any of these levels. Maybe 230 here. You have some previous lows at this level here. You guys can see you have one here, right? You got one here, right here. You have another low right there. You have another few lows right here. You have another low that came in right there. So maybe 230, but it is in the middle of a chop fest back here, guys, right? 230 is in the middle of a chop fest. So maybe you watch the 230 level. If we get a pullback under 240, maybe that's where you come down to. But, I mean, you have a low here, you have a low here, you have the lows here, right? It's just a mess, guys. So, yeah, I mean, I'm not really too confident on the technicals here on Tesla anymore. It's in between a range. It's sort of doing its own thing within this chop. He's got Twitter. Yeah, maybe I'll just listen to someone on Twitter. I think the best bet is just to trade the momentum under the channel break. So maybe if you can get a breakdown of this 240, maybe a little retest action, sell put or buy puts right there, maybe look for 230. That could be a nice trade setup. A little break and retest of 240 to the downside. Or, who knows, guys, maybe we drop into 240 today, we find support, and we just rock it right back into 260. So I think here, best bet, trade the channel. Look for break and retest of either side, or support or demand to step in at the lows and supply to step in at the highs. That's really all I could say on Tesla. Because right now it's a little bit of a crapshoot, in my opinion. All right, so Apple. Apple has a gap here, right? You guys can see here on Apple, we have a gap to fill around 143. I think that probably should fill, in my opinion. So if we drop, I'm thinking around this 144 area right here. I'm thinking if we drop 144, then I think you have about $1 on Apple gap back into 143. I think that's very possible today. So if we go to the 5-minute chart, you guys can see we have this gap. If we drop this 144, I'm definitely looking to see if I can play some Apple downside into this gap fill right back into 143. I know it's not a lot, but it probably will happen pretty quickly, right? If you drop that, it'll probably be pretty quick. So I would watch for that. On the 4-hour chart, actually, let's go hourly. Here's the hourly chart. You guys can see we are rejecting a previous double bottom low right there, double bottom low into a rejection. So that's why that's why Apple's starting to reject here at 146. It's just a double bottom low turning into a rejection, right? Doing a little retest of that previous low, maybe confirming another rejection point. So watch out for 146. If you can get above 146, you're looking at 148.50. Previous low, previous high, 148.50. So you got the gap fill to the downside. Yep. You could try to play the gap fill, or you could even try to play the bounce off 143, right? If you get the gap fill, does Apple start to hold support after the gap fill is complete? So I would watch both sides. 143, gap fill to 143 right here, or you could see if the demand steps in at 143. Maybe there's a better opportunity back into 146. All right, that's what I would watch on Apple. AMD. Perfect rejection, man. Absolutely gorgeous. I messed this trade up yesterday. I took puts pretty early, too early, and I got caught in this move right here. I should have been, so I sold half my position on this move. We knew in the chat, we were talking about the data that was coming out at 10 a.m. Forgot what it was. Something to do with jobs report, job. I think it was job openings, job quits. So I sold half my position down here. I took puts around this 60.50, looking for this 69 area to reject. Was up nicely on this downside here. Took half off, and then this pop made me lose on the second half of the position. Just bad timing, right? Bad timing. Rejection point was right. Maybe could have been more patient for this, rejection to come in. But, I wasn't going to sit here all day and look for that, so I can't really blame myself. But the idea was right. The idea was spot on, right? I was playing off a 69 rejection. I was just too early to it. You can see the rejection that came in at 69. It's very clear. It's very easy to see. Why would it reject here? You can see it's pretty perfect, right? Rejection, 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 rejected again. It's just a channel high that you can try to trade. So tried to trade that channel high. Idea was very right. You can see the downside that's coming in. I would look for a pullback to 66. I would look for a pullback to 66. Right here. I would look for this back to 66. Does it hold here? If it does, is there a long opportunity off 66? If it doesn't hold 66, then you definitely can get some more downside. So I think AMD back to 66. You can see right here, the previous lows, the previous high, previous support at 66. So I would look for another move into that 66 today. See what happens at that level. All right. Just know that upside at 69 is real tough. All right. Here's NVIDIA, and here's the retest trade that I am looking for today. I would love to see NVIDIA pull back and prove to me that it's going to hold these previous highs as support. I would love to see this set up. This is exactly what I want. I'm going to be all over this if it happens. I'm watching this previous high on NVIDIA. I'm looking for it to pull back right here. I'm looking for it to hold in this area, and I'm looking to see if we can catch some momentum back to the upside off 126, 127. Not a trade that probably happens today, but something I wanted to share. Just want to let you guys know something I'm looking for. I'm looking for these previous highs, all this previous rejection point, rejection, 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 rejection. Finally, another rejection. You got your break. I'm looking for the retest. I'm looking for it to hold here, and I'm looking to go long off this 126, 127. We'll see if it happens. I'm not going to, all right, it's all about timing. It's all about patience. I'm not going to just buy calls if it's going straight into it. I need to wait a few days. I need to see some consolidation. I need to see maybe some higher lows get built and then go long as some higher lows get built there, back off that 126, 127. So definitely a trade that I think could set up and definitely something that I will be watching here. Just watch out above. You have some pretty important rejection levels to watch out for. If you go to the 4-hour chart, look, guys, all right, you have all this and all this. So does NVIDIA actually get through 134? That's going to be a whole nother question. I don't know. You can see all this rejection, all this support. So this is the major level here. 134, 135. This is clearly the major level up here. until NVIDIA is up here, guys, I don't think it's not much of anything. Still in a downtrend. You're not above a key level. This is the monster level right here, 134. It needs to get above that. If it can get above that, which was a previous support or rejection, right, you're making a higher low. If you see this, and then you see this, and then you see this, right, and then you can consolidate here, then you're creating higher lows, right? Here's a low, here's a low, here's a low. This is now an uptrend, right? This is what you need to start seeing formed. This is what you need to start seeing happen on this market. It's the exact same thing that happened to the downside, right? Here's a low, right? Here's a lower low. Here's a lower low, right? You may think that this is rudimentary and elementary school, child's play type of analysis where it just, I'm just drawing lines and making retests, but this is what happens, right? This is how the market moves. It made a low, it made a lower low, it rejected the previous high, made a lower high, it made a lower low, made a lower high. This is exactly what you need to see as you start looking for upside, if there is. Higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high. This is like trading 101, but it happens everywhere. You can see it here, right on NVIDIA, right on the chart in front of you. So that's what you need to start seeing. If we can create a higher low right here, I think that gives the bulls some positivity, right? People are going to be watching for that. Does NVIDIA create a higher low right here? That is everything that I'll be watching for on NVIDIA. If it loses this 127, it's done. It's done. There's nothing. That's not going to happen. If you break right under this and move back to the lows, it's donezo. There's nothing going on here. All right. Amazon. Let's take a look at this. Amazon hourly chart. So I'm looking for this exact same thing. It's potentially happening today. We'll see. But what am I looking for here today? I'm looking for a retest of these previous highs. Right? I'm looking for this 119 retest to come in right in this area. So can we turn the previous rejection points on Amazon into support? Rejection, rejection, rejection. Can we break it? Can we turn it into support? Can we create a higher low? That's what I'm going to be looking for. Does 119 turn into support today? If it does, I'll look to see if there's any type of positivity, any type of juice off that level, as I like to say. Is there any juice here off 119? If not, if it looks dead, then not interested. But is there something off 119, previous triple top channel high? Can it turn into support? Rejections came in right in this general area. It's not perfect. It wasn't really at this 121. It was sort of just right in the middle of it. 123 looks to be the level. So just watch out for the 122, 123. Watch out for up here around 125. But the key for me today is, does Amazon retest 119 and hold? All right. N-phase FSLR. Daily chart. N-phase still stuck, so I'm going to skip N-phase. You can see it just stuck here. But keep an eye on that. FSLR is the one that's very interesting to me. If I go to the hourly chart on FSLR, and I get some more time here, what you guys will see is that we broke this high, and we are now turning it into potential support, right? We channeled here for almost a month now. This is basically a month of price action. We channeled for a month. We got the breakout. This is a big breakout for FSLR, a month channel that broke out. We're pulling back. If this starts to consolidate here, guys, I will be looking for that. If we get a retest of the previous highs, if we hold it, if it turns into support, I will be watching to see, can 140 hold as support today? That's definitely something I'm watching. All right, I want to go over the financial, or the XLPs, or the XLs, the Spider ETFs, real quick for us to look at. This is the XLF. So the XLF is the financial ETF. Obviously, we know that, and you guys can see. Look at this hold. The XLF held pretty damn nicely. So that hold right there, previous rejection, into support. I can't imagine there not being a little bit of continuation here. This is a pretty ideal setup for continuation. So does financials move higher today? I will be watching that. You guys can see support. You guys can see that big candle yesterday. JP Morgan coming off a pretty nice level there. Look at JP Morgan here, guys. I mean, it's sitting at a huge level here. 104, 105. Nice push off of it yesterday. Goldman Sachs bouncing off this little double bottom potentially right in this general area. You guys can see Goldman Sachs with the upside. Bank of America, little double bottom right there. And Bank of America around 30. Is there more upside there? So I like JP Morgan the best. I think this is a huge level on JPM. I think this could definitely see some upside. Does the XLF sector continue off this demand bounce? I would be watching that. That looks pretty solid. XLV, healthcare sector, pushed to the upside as well. So a nice upside there on XLV, back above 126. You want to see that hold. XLE, energy. Holy crap, I didn't even realize this happened yesterday. Oh, man. Okay, I didn't realize the extent of this bounce on energy. This is a ridiculous bounce. Congratulations. I mean, anyone that just trusted this demand, look at that bounce. So, again, demand held on the energy sector. Energy sector is looking to heat up here, it looks like, again. Nice push off demand. Again, we talked about this on all last week and Monday, so this is crazy to see. XOM, huge push. CVX, huge push. Oxy, huge push. So XLE off that demand was a fantastic play. Congratulations if you caught that. And then finally, the XLP, the consumer staples, guys. Here is the XLP. You can see demand, 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 demand. We're back at it. And you can see we are perking above it a little bit. So you can see right here, XLP got back above that demand level around 68. So Procter & Gamble is one of the major names in this ETF. You also have Coca-Cola, which is a major name in this ETF. You have stocks like Pepsi, Costco. So just watch out for these consumer staple stocks. If they can get above, if the XLP can continue, you might get some continuation here on these names. All right. Let's go into the tickers that you guys want to look at. If you could take 1 second, press that like button, guys. That would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Your likes help the channel a lot. It helps the channel get out to more people. And we do not have a single ticker in the form. So what we're going to do is we're going to get out of here early. I hope you have a fantastic day. Early release. I used to love, dude. Just think about the happiness that you used to get when they used to say early release days in school. Man, those were the best days ever. Early release days were almost better than having school off. I don't know why. Just something about it. But, all right, guys. Anyways, have a fantastic day. I hope you enjoyed the stream. If you did, press the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Help me continue to grow this channel. I'm going to, I got 2 things that I'm going to work on today. The giveaway, and then also I want to rally up the troops. I don't know how many people would be interested, but I want to try to rally up the troops and donate to, some of the relief for this hurricane. I think that's a good cause. It's near and dear to my heart. It's where I live. So we'll see. I'm going to try to do something for that, and maybe, I can rally up some of the people that watch the stream and follow the channel to help out as well. Maybe I'll match the donation or whatever, something like that. I want to give back. I think it's a good thing to do. So I'll let you guys know. Stay updated here and on Instagram and all the social medias if you're interested. All right, guys. Have a great day. Be smart out there. Don't do anything stupid. Be patient. Don't throw your money away. Please. I know when numbers are on the screen, it feels like that money's not real, but it's your money. You worked hard for it. Protect it, guys. Protect your portfolio. Just be smart. Take good risks. Take good trades. All right, I'm out of here. Have a good day. See you guys tomorrow. Peace out.